Some could one day patrol our body for all kinds of diseases and clean out.
For all that it is raising hundreds of millions of people out of poverty in the
It is a responsibility for all of us, not just a few.
Risky business that talks about how expensive this has become just for the economy and for all of our cities, and how
space where the specific stands in for all of its kind, stands in for the human world. They seem to turn any object into something that stands for all of its class.
That truly works for all.
All the opportunities that all of us want for all of our children, no matter what their color.
To the religious alone. They're for all of us. Thank you very much.
Out the JMU motto that calls for all of us to be the change we want to see in the world. Carly's presentation today.
Space are totally invisible for all practical purposes. But early on,
Individual problems are problems for all of us. According to UNICEF,
for all the books that have been talks that have been delivered on leadership,
It's a bigger win for all of us. In retrospect, the decision not to...
I have put forth ways of paying for all the investments that I make because we do have the entitlement.
Trade and prosperity that works for all and not just some, then you're going to have to pay attention to development.
A name. Such tricks hath strong imagination. And for all of us here, no matter who you are, logic will get you from...
The love for all living creatures is the most noble attribute of man.
Created an environment for all of us to really have to be better communicators.
Without us. That's Rick Steves, Italy. So travel with that for all of the details. I spend 4 months a year. They put English there for all the travelers coming in. But it's a multilingual.
I have a real soft spot for Hungary. As you can tell, I have a soft spot for all of these places. But there's...
And get the resources for all of that. And meanwhile, you're fighting...
I've got audio tours, must have 40 of them, for all the great sites, museums, and walks in Europe. I've worked on this really hard.
It was important. She wanted to be here for all of you, and there's a lesson in...
That's really awesome. You know what? I really want to thank you for all of the work you're doing. I think it's great. You're not just engaged.
to build justice for all people, not just some.
And new economies, there's lots.
For for all the reasons. She freaks out.
Polymer components. They generate documentation for all of these components to make it really easy.
We haven't invented separate names for all those. Once we've got 100.
To all of your writing students. And I think that these questions are incredibly important for all creatives.
Be a role model for all other women, but be modest enough to never think that you're a role model.
For all those who recognize their precarious position as sinners.
For all of our students. I mean, right now it's a pilot. Very quickly for all sorts of applications, and it's really,
I think, is important for all of us to be aware of is the
forever. He sometimes thought that he must die in order to atone for all the suffering that he had caused.
I've been wanting to be a partner for a long time. Partners, thank you for all that you do. You're such a blessing.
The challenge for all of us in journalism.
Is there any way?
This is something for all of